Well, he just did. He just scored 8 points. That's the thing. He had a career. Yep.
Every loss, every loss, dramatically changed the season.
Listening to the Sportz Nutz.
Yes, you are. You are listening to the Sportz Nutz. Maybe just me. It might be Matt, and it might be somebody else. I don't know yet. We're hoping to hear somebody soon. Anyways, guys, welcome to episode 60. Yes, the big 60 of the Sportz Nutz. I hope you guys had an absolute wonderful Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving in the Keeler household was simply amazing. The girls had some good food. I had some good food. Yeah, it was nice to spend time with everybody. I had to do some work today, and that was good. It was busy. Hope you guys had a wonderful Black Friday. I can tell you this. We went to Target this afternoon, and holy cow, that was a madhouse to say the least. But I had fun. I enjoy getting to spend time with my family and do things with my wife and my kids. It's just a great experience. I hope you all are full on some good quality turkey. And here's a phrase I'm pretty sure you guys haven't heard in a while, other than on Fox, is turducken. For those who don't know what a turducken is, it's a turkey with it has a duck inside of a chicken, stuffed inside of a turkey, and it is boneless. And if you cook it just right, oh yeah, it's mighty fine, as they say here in the South. But anyway, guys, tonight we actually have a good episode lined up. Hey guys, David and Goliath 2.0 did in fact happen for the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks, they pulled off the upset again. We'll talk about that. Hey, guys, we will talk about one of the most unusual, wild endings I think I've seen in a long time with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Yetas, as they call them, or the Las Vegas Raiders. How weird is it to say that? Guys, I don't know if you guys saw the really ridiculous ending yesterday with the Chicago Bears game and the Detroit Lions. Yeah, that was that whole sequence. I don't understand really, but that cost Eberflus his job. We'll talk a little bit about that. Hey, guys, college football is in wrap-up mode right now. Some great matchups took place today. One Heisman finalist may have solidified his campaign to clinch the Heisman Trophy. I mean, heck, we will see about that coming up. And then look, Boise State, maybe Genty did enough as well. I don't know yet. We will see on that one. But then, guys, also, did you hear about this really sad story? An Alabama A&M player ended up dying from being hit in the head during a game. Yeah, it's pretty sad. We'll get talking about the minute. Yeah, it was actually really really sad story. We're going to cover a little bit of that too. Guys, we will talk about some college basketball. How about Furman? They are 7-0 in basketball play. They play the number 1 team, Kansas. Tomorrow they play at Kansas. It's going to be a really tough matchup. Talk a little bit about that as well. Hey, you never know. There could be, we do see crazy things happen. Maybe we will see something like that happen. We will see on that indeed. Guys, we are also we're going to talk a little bit about the NFL. Could there be a snow game taking place on Sunday night? Absolutely worth talking about. I hope you guys get a chance to take a look at that one. You know, we have a lot of stuff to go over. Obviously, we're excited about talking with you, having you on tonight. Please excuse if you hear my children; they're misbehaving and they're not supposed to. I apologize about that, guys. Real quick though, want to give a special shout out, you know, to a few people actually. Our good friends at Anderson University, Mark Vaughn. We want to give him a shout out. You know, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. You know, obviously has some good family food. Got a really cool story I want to talk with him about. He will share that with us in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for that one. I apologize. My kids are being really loud and obnoxious and not supposed to be. All right, guys, let's give a quick shout out to Tequilas. Look, we went there today for lunch, actually. And yeah, they said that they are getting really busy there. It is, as you guys see, look, oh, here we go. You guys see my tree is behind me, which means holiday parties, they're coming. They're knocking on the door. You want to find a place to get them booked? Hey, go ahead and give Tequilas a call right now. 864-307-8028. Better yet, stop on by 5155 Calhoun Memorial Highway. That's Easley, South Carolina, 29640. Tequila's Grill in Easley. I had some really good food today. You know, I was really excited. It was really good food. I actually had a lot of good time. Before we go any further, guys, I want you guys to please like our Facebook page. We are only 3 away from the 200 mark. Let's get to 200. Guys, we're moving up the rankings with Twitter. Let's get that Twitter page up to at least 400 by the end of December. That'd be really good. Real quickly, Johnny McCollum, if you are watching, sir, you are the $30 gas gift card winner. Please send us a message with your name, your full name, your mailing address, and we will get the card out to you. It is a $30 gas card gift card. It's not a bogus gift card. It's a real legit one. Yeah, so take a look at that. And also, guys, we are still sitting at 135 on the subscribers for our YouTube page. If we can get up to 145 by year's end, that's a big accomplishment. Let's get it going. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We know without you guys, we couldn't do this. So we really appreciate that. Hey, our good friend Brian Kajiyama, if you don't remember, he was on our show a few episodes ago. He reposted our episode last night. And got to give a special shout out to him, guys, because Brian got us an additional 2,194 views. Brian, here, I'm tipping the drink to you there, but that was very thoughtful to do, guys. If you haven't had a chance to check out his story, you will really like it. I promise you, it's a good story. Brian Kajiyama, you know, he is a great advocate for special needs. He is a professor at the University of Hawaii. He is a great friend. He's a great person. Go check out the video. Remember, they're all on our YouTube page, and they are also on our Twitter. You know, we have a bunch of episodes up. Check them out. You really will enjoy them. All right, guys. So let's dive into it now, because obviously, you know, it's time. Let's get it going. All right, guys. Matt Eberflus. Like, what was this? This had to be the most bizarre ending to a game that I've seen in the wrong way yesterday. You know, everybody knew what was going on. You know, Detroit, they were really, you know, they were taking it to Detroit. And it looked like, to Chicago. And it looked like Detroit was going to blow them out of the water. And then you guys know it only takes 1 or 2 plays, and it can wake a sleeping giant, as a team possibly could be called. And sure enough, Chicago, they woke up. And instead of going up 30-7, Chicago turned it around. They scored. Then they got the ball back again. They scored. They were down 23-20, and then the ball was given back to the Bears. Right. The Bears, they had, it was unbelievable. They had an opportunity to go down and either tie the game, or they had an opportunity to go down and win the game. And what happens is like straight out of a movie. Caleb Williams gets sacked. As you guys know, they were in field goal range. He gets sacked, and they basically knocked them out of field goal range. Well, here's the crazy thing that happened is the clock wasn't stopped. They didn't call time. They had a timeout remaining. And it's about 10 seconds start going, and then you start seeing Caleb Williams. He's frantically saying, he's calling a play out at the line, which that's what they do during a game is they call a play, you know. And then it was kind of like, let's slowly hurry up, right? But they get to the line, and then they're just taking the time. If you look back at the video, look at the sidelines, you see, not only do you see coaches, but you see players saying, let's go, hurry up. He's taking his time. And it's like tick, 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 tick. The clock is going down, right? So, and you hear Tom Brady and Tom Brady, excuse me. You hear, I think it's Tony Romo. You hear them like, what's going on? Why are they taking this long? This is too much time taking on the clock. He got sacked with 36 seconds left in the game. They snapped the ball with 6 seconds left. It was their final play. Ball was overthrown. Incomplete pass. Game over. Chicago lost 23-20. Terrible clock management. And and that ultimately cost Eberflus his job. Look, they were going to probably fire him at the end of the season regardless, because Matt Eberflus is just he was not a good coach. And it caught him off guard, hit him in the wrong way, and he was let go. Like I say, is good on for Chicago, breaking away the cancer. They have the talent. Chicago has the talent, but you just don't have the coaching. The coach, and you see it a lot of times on teams. You have phenomenal talent on teams, but you have lack of quality coaching. And you always hear that term, they were out-coached, they were outpaced. Absolutely. You do see that, and you can tell when head coaches have lost the team. You can tell when head coaches in general, they're not really trying. And what was the excuse that Eberflus gave last night after the game? He said, I like what we did there. And everything was smooth in the correct way with clock management. What? I'm confused on that one. I believe, and I'm going to quote the great Herm Edwards. It's, hello, you play to win the game, right? I mean, it's simple. You play to win the game. And what do? You just we'll take our time, guys. We have a timeout in the back pocket. Let's not use. We'll take our time. We'll call the play. Instead of, trying to get into field goal range, let's just take our time. It's okay, yada, yada. Like, dude, come on. There ain't no way that was what you were really intentioning. Matt Eberflus, bad coach. Bad decisions. Glad he's gone. Now let's see what happens for the rest of the year for the Chicago Bears. Do they win a few more games, or do they just win 4 like they're doing right now and look for 2025? What do you guys think? I know there is a bunch of you watching. Trey Davis just said on here, sources say that Eberflus finally called timeout after he was fired. I like what you did. That's pretty good, Trey. Look, guys, I want you guys. Look, we already got some comments on there. There. I applaud. I appreciate every single one of you. There are currently 33 people on here. I want you guys to tell me. Do you think Eberflus had to have had the biggest boneheaded decision last night against Detroit, or do you think, or what do you? I want to know what you guys think about the whole situation with Matt Eberflus. Obviously, he was cancer for the Chicago Bears. So, what is the next step or the next direction the Bears go? Do you finish technically tanking the season in hopes of getting a high draft pick and, draft Travis Hunter, or try to draft Travis Hunter, or what? I mean, you let me know. Let me know in the comments. I really do. I really appreciate you guys chiming in. It means a lot. Like I said, I know there are 33 people here watching. Let's all 33 interact tonight. Let's get it going, guys. All right. So if you guys missed the wild ending to tonight's Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders game, I mean, like I'm trying to figure this out. Like, so it was an illegal shift, but a fumble at the same time. They couldn't recover it. It's like they tried, but then they gave up, and the ball was recovered by Kansas City. Kansas City wins 19-17. The one of the questions are that are coming out are is the NFL scripting it for the Kansas City Chiefs to be the first three-peat team in modern history for the NFL, or what? Personally, I'm not trying to really buy into this what if possibly. You know, the great Vince Lombardi said, if ands and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a merry little Christmas, right? That's very true. But you know, that you got to really wonder, like, I mean, like the Chiefs, they have had a lot of like questionable calls. They've had a lot of questionable no calls. Who I want you guys to answer this question truthfully. Who remembers when the Falcons played against the Kansas City Chiefs this year? I mean, and it was the biggest blatant pass interference call ever. The defender of the Kansas City Chiefs wasn't even facing the plate, was pushing Kyle Pitts out of the end zone. And Kyle Pitts is having to lean over to try and get it, and they didn't call pass interference. The Falcons lost the game. That should have been a called pass interference. There's just too many inconsistencies so far with this season with regards to the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, I mean, obviously we have seen an undefeated regular season and an undefeated team in general with the 72 Dolphins. That is not going to be tapped into this year. There is no undefeated team. However, we did see an undefeated regular season team happen. For those who don't remember, that was the 16-0 New England Patriots. They ended up going to Super Bowl. David Tyree had the catch heard around the world on the helmet, knocked off the undefeated Patriots. Yeah, the rest is history on that one. But here's what we haven't seen, guys. We haven't seen a 16-1 regular season, because we didn't have 17 games for a long time up until a couple years ago. But 17 game season this year, and the Chiefs theoretically could go 16-1, and that, you know, then you got to wonder, is the NFL really scripting for this to be the first three-peat team? Because look, winning a championship, it's not easy in any sport. Absolutely, it's not. There are some players who play their entire lives, you know, from little league to middle school to high school to college to the pro level, that had never won a championship. They never do it. They just never do it, right? But then you have people who win it, and you know, good on them to win it, right? But then let's talk about a team that can win it 2 times in a row. That's even more impressive, you know. And I mean, I think the last team that did it actually was the Denver Broncos. You know, remember the "this one's for John" call when the Falcons played the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl. I don't necessarily buy into the narrative that you're going to see a script written any better for the Kansas City. I mean, heck, the way it's pointed out would be like what, a 20-1 season. The Kansas City Chiefs hoisting the Super Bowl trophy number 3. Now, could they go to New Orleans and play represent the AFC in the Super Bowl? They absolutely could. I mean, heck, anybody really can do that. I mean, let's take, you know, how about this, guys? Let's do this. Let's look at the standings right now real quick. We'll dive into it because there's a lot to worry about. You know, Kansas City is the first team to clinch the playoffs. They absolutely clinched a playoff berth today, okay? But then, you know, let's look at the Buffalo Bills. They're the most, and I'm going to tag this back, Trey, Davis, I'm sorry, I'm going to tag this back to your South Carolina Gamecocks, the most consistent, inconsistent team there is. Why am I saying that, okay? All right, so the Buffalo Bills, they're the only team that went to 4 straight AFC championships. They're the only team that won 4 straight AFC championships and lost in 4 straight Super Bowls. Jim Kelly, he's an absolute Hall of Fame quarterback. Got to be one of the best quarterbacks there is. Josh Allen, guys. Look, I remember a lot of the reactions that came out when Josh Allen was drafted. Why are we drafting him? He's not good for the program. Truth be told, and I'm being dead serious when I tell you this, I wanted Josh Allen to be drafted by the Atlanta Falcons to be Matt Ryan's replacement. That's how good of a quarterback Josh Allen was. He was great at Wyoming. Fantastic. And he's done such a great job. He really has done a great job with the Buffalo Bills. And, of course, there's something, the Bills Mafia, they're a fantastic fan base. They're thickened through their team. They bleed blue, red, white, and blue for their team. And good on them. I love their enthusiasm. I love their tenacity, their care for the team. I really do. What if we're looking at an AFC championship matchup? Buffalo taking on Kansas City. I mean, we don't know, right? Here is another team that you really got to think, when will the wheels fall off, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. We all know what Arthur Smith didn't accomplish in Atlanta. We know what he did in Tennessee because he had Derrick Henry as the running back. We know what he's doing now because I promise you, yeah, he's calling the offensive plays. However, I almost can certainly put money on it that he's not the only one calling the plays. Mike Tomlin has to have a voice in this, because otherwise, why would Pittsburgh be 8-3? I mean, that's a real good question, actually. Arthur Smith has never really accomplished things, guys. And I want to quickly mind out to you. Look, Arthur Smith, he does at times have phenomenal offense. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the report today that University of North Carolina has reached out to Arthur Smith about a possible being a head coach at his alma mater. I actually did not know that Arthur Smith played at North Carolina. So do I think he has the ability to propel North Carolina to better standards than what Coach Brown did? And I don't know. I really don't know. But, a lot of college coaches, they can't really make it in the NFL. It's unfortunate. It's just something about it. Here's an example. Nick Saban, phenomenal coach, LSU, leaves, goes to the Miami Dolphins, struggles, gets let go, goes to Alabama. What does he do? He only leads Alabama to a dynasty the way they pin it out, right? Lane Kiffin, he stuck his foot out there too. You see, he struggled in the NFL. He's done great in college. Steve Sarkisian, same thing. Chip Kelly, he did great things. I mean, phenomenal things at Oregon. Led them and every year consistently in offensive yards, points, plays, you name it. I mean, I can remember there was one year he was coaching there, and they had in one game, it was 111 plays. It was crazy, something like that. So, you do see it. All right. So, and then look, Nick Bungalow just said it. Jim Harbaugh. Now, Nick, I do got to chime in on this one. Jim Harbaugh, he did phenomenal things in college, but he did really good things in the pro level. And if you don't remember this, though, Nick, Jim Harbaugh played in the NFL. He was actually a pretty decent quarterback. He did really good things in his tenure. Now, he never led teams to a championship. I understand that one, but if I had to put a serious doubt into who, all right, I'm gonna give two guys' names. See if you recognize them. Okay, obviously Jim Harbaugh, Brian Griese. Look, Brian Griese was a great quarterback at Michigan. And then let's see, Bobby Hebert played for the New Orleans Saints and played for the Atlanta Falcons. Right. All right. So out of those three, Nick, I want you to tell me. Nick Bungalow, I'll put you on the spot, buddy. You tell me, out of those three, Jim Harbaugh, Brian Griese, and Bobby Hebert, who would you put as your quarterback to essentially lead your franchise, knowing what you know now? And I guarantee you the majority of the people are going to say Jim Harbaugh is who they choose. Look, Brian Griese, I'm not doubting him at all. He was like I said, he did phenomenal things at Michigan. He was a great quarterback. just really couldn't get it together in the pros. He's a great color commentator. I love listening to him. He's a phenomenal reader of the game. Another great reader of the game who actually became who would be a Hall of Famer, Tom Brady. Tom Brady, if you listen to him, he reads the play. And Greg Olson, who played tight end for Carolina. If he were to be a coach, look, Trey Davis, I'm going to call this out right now. Greg Olson really should be y'all's head coach, not Dave Canales. Greg Olson knows what he's doing. He knows football. He is so smart. Yes, anybody can call plays. Anybody can. However, it takes a true football-minded individual who immediately, when the huddle is broken, you knew the play right there. You knew exactly. And I want you, I implore you guys to go look and listen to Greg Olson on Sunday. He can diagnose an entire play before they've even called their motions. He knows where it's going. He is a very smart football savvy individual. Gosh, could you imagine? And Trey, I'm gonna ask you this. Nick, I'm gonna ask you this. Well, and the other 42 people I'm asking right now, could y'all imagine putting Peyton Manning as your head coach? Heck, putting Eli Manning as like your quarterback's coach, right? Right. Putting Greg Olson or heck, even putting Greg Olson as your assistant head coach. Like, could you imagine like how successful would that be? I mean, that's pretty impressive. Think about it. Look, I read your mind. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. So see, Nick, I promise you, Jim Harbaugh, he is a good coach. He may make some of the most boneheaded decisions at times, but he knows what to do. Look, an offense that has not been traditionally run in the NFL was the pistol formation, and he adapted to Colin Kaepernick, because Colin Kaepernick, guys, and I'm gonna bring this in with you guys too. Colin Kaepernick, his entire career, he ran the pistol formation. He ran it in high school. Go back and look. There's video footage of that. I had the unfortunate and both the privilege to watch Colin Kaepernick for 4 years when he played at Nevada, and Nevada ran the pistol formation. NFL teams, and Shane, I'm going to ask you on this as well. Our good friend Shane Owen, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. All right, guys. So let me, Nick. Shane, I'm going to ask you this too. Okay. Before Colin Kaepernick came into with the pistol formation, do you recall a time you saw the pistol formation in the NFL?
I rarely. Kind of Warren Moon era kind of brought it in. You saw some of it with Warren Moon. You saw more of the spread with Randall Cunningham and stuff. But as far as the pistol, you really only saw it in college. I think, I just jumped on, but the only program I knew outside of Nevada where Kaepernick came from running the pistol was, you saw some air raids running a pistol instead of an I formation or something like that. So, that's, some of that you don't see much. And, the pistol formation, like I said, it was a Nevada Wolfpack kind of deal there for a while.
That's right. You hit the nail on the head. Absolutely right there. So Jim Harbaugh, Nick Bungalow, he came up with this great idea. Instead of trying to implement offenses that traditionally people aren't successful with, let's build it around our quarterback. Our quarterback ran the pistol. He knew how to run it out of the pistol formation. And he was very successful. He led the Niners to the Super Bowl. They ended up losing to the Baltimore Ravens. But Jim Harbaugh, though, Nick, I promise you, he would be your selection for being your coach or your quarterback. He was a great quarterback, great coach, everything. All right, so let's go back to looking at the standings here. Right, obviously, there's 16 teams in the AFC. You have one team who's 11-1, and you have another team who's 2-10. The Raiders, they're now 2-10. They're done. Kick them out of the bowl, right? All right, so we've mentioned the Kansas City Chiefs. We've mentioned the Buffalo Bills. We've mentioned the Steelers. How about this? And I'm going to ask you this one too, Nick, is what do you think about the Houston Texans? Do you think that C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans, obviously C.J. Stroud has an abundance of talent around him. They're a great everything. They're a great they're a great team. They're great talent. They have a lot of talent. I think Houston could be the sleeper in the AFC post season, but I'm really tipping my cap here though to the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills as being the AFC title game. And I'm not fully discrediting the Ravens, but I'm not sold on them yet. Obviously, it's going to come down to the Steelers and the Ravens as to who wins their division, as it does every year. We'll see how that goes. So, yeah. All right, let's go into the NFC, the National Football Conference, right? Which this is where it gets, iffy on a lot. Look, Detroit, they're a great team. They absolutely are. I think gone are the days of the terrible Detroit Lions, okay? So they're 11-1. However, like I stated to start the show, they really should be 10-2. I think that Chicago, they had better coaching, they would have absolutely won that game, absolutely. But I'm just looking at this on paper, right? All right, so then look, the Philadelphia Eagles, they've really come together. They started out really slow. They've come together. They've gotten a better position on themselves. They're 9-2. Those two, I think Detroit and Philadelphia, they're gonna lock it in for the 1 and 2 seeds. Then comes the 3 and 4, the two most unusual teams. Look, Seattle currently is the number 3 position over Atlanta. Yes, Atlanta and Seattle have the same record at 6-5. However, because Seattle beat Atlanta earlier on this year, Seattle is in the 3rd seed. And so look, Nick, I'm going to bring Shane on this in a minute. He's getting settled in. I'm going to ask you guys this. All right, Shane, I'm going to ask you this too. Okay.
Okay. I'm ready.
You have 3 teams to choose from the NFC West: Seattle, Arizona, and the Rams. Actually, how about this? Seattle, Arizona, the Rams, and the Niners. Out of those 4, who do you think will win the NFC West?
To win the NFC West is
yes.
That's a great question. The NFC West is kind of a toss-up, and it seems to be every year. You have 2-3 teams that are right there within the same, win-loss total. To get right there into the playoffs and all, and then, one team gets hot, and that's all that she wrote, especially in that division. I think the Rams are most likely the least favorable team to win the division.
Okay.
I would have put the Cardinals in 3rd, but I think the Cardinals have a little bit more edge than the Seahawks right now, especially the way that they've been playing, and Kyler Murray's making smart decisions. Then you kind of look at it up at the top, San Fran. You can't argue with it. We'll see where Purdy is, as far as coming back off injury and stuff like that. Hopefully soon. But as far as their defense and their whole team as a whole, I think that still collectively even with the backup quarterback, they can win the division pretty easily playing great defense.
I want to ask you this too, and it's hard to wrap my brain around. And I started out the show talking about, excuse me, I'm choking here. Coaching, the Matt Eberflus made the biggest boneheaded decision and of all decisions for the Chicago Bears last night, right?
Oh, cost job.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I don't know, dude. Did you happen to hear? He said, "I like the way we did things, and I think the clock management was handled excellently."
That's exactly what cost him his job, because the upper management and GMs and everything with the Bears said that no, that's not the way we should have handled it.
Exactly.
All down for the way they handled it last night, but tonight I guarantee you he's not the same feeling.
No, he's not. So he was a poison. He was a cancer for the Washington. Excuse me, goodness, for the Carolina. Gosh, I'm sorry, I talk much, guys. For the Chicago Bears, he was a cancer for them, and you do see bad coaches, right? So let's look at the Arizona Cardinals. Cliff Kingsbury is a great offensive-minded coach. He's a great coach. He was a great quarterback when he played. He did great things for Texas Tech. Do I think Cliff Kingsbury? And look, Nick, we're going to tie that in again when you're talking about college coaches being successful in the NFL. Cliff Kingsbury, he absolutely was. He was running the run and gun offense, air raid. That's literally it was the air raid run and gun, not the run and shoot. The run and gun. There was two different versions of that one. And what Cliff Kingsbury did was he idolized they called him the Pirate, the Mad Hatter, Mr. Mike Leach himself. That was his idol. Okay, so he ran that style in the NFL. He thought it was going to be good because no one has seen the run and shoot offense or the run and gun or the air raid since June Jones when he brought it to Atlanta and the San Diego Chargers, which are now the LA Chargers. Okay. Yes, I just totally aged myself. So I don't care, guys. I remember June Jones playing in the NFL. So go ahead. And look, you're right, Nick. He did. He had it coming. Like I said in the beginning, and Shane, I'm pretty sure you're going to agree with me on this one. Eberflus was gone no matter what this year. I think he was done. It was Super Bowl or bust, right? That's what I feel about it was with the Bears. What do you think?
I mean, with the situation that he was given, I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure that 4-7, come along season right now, or what are they, 3-8 maybe?
4-8.
4-8. So I mean, you got that season coming along. I mean, they got these picks for this coach and this GM and everything at the beginning of this year because of what Carolina gifted them and get rid of everybody that they did.
Silver platter right here.
Yeah, oh yeah, for some reason. I mean, but they didn't make the best of it. I think that the coach was harshly punished for it. Not giving it enough time, being injuries and everything else like that. But I'm not sure, hey, we're in this world where results matter. And if you're not getting the results that are expected, then you're just done.
That's right. Look, Nick just said the Bears should really be 8-4. Caleb Williams has to. Yes. And I'm gonna tell you now, guys. I was one of the harshest critics. I'm still a harsh critic of Caleb Williams. He's too much of a diva, I feel, in the game nowadays. I mean, there's video of him saying we bleeping suck. He's even said that on TV. So it's been visually seen, right? So, but you're right, Nick.
Dak said
what now?
Dak said it too.
Yeah, Dak. Boy, now if you guys can read lips, go back and watch what Dak Prescott said, and you got to sit there and say, it is the Dallas Cowboys. They really are. They're a bleep show. They really are.
Oh yeah.
But at Cliff Kingsbury, offensive genius, great, great at that. But he was just a terrible coach. And look at the difference 1 year takes for Arizona. And here's my thing also on that too, Shane, is had Cliff Kingsbury stayed, Desmond Ridder probably would have been potentially the starter for the Arizona Cardinals because of the potential he sees in everybody. And he never really saw eye to eye with Kyler Murray. But could you imagine how much of a bleep show that could have been there?
Kyler Murray was 5'9" and he was 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, but here's the difference. Kyler Murray is an athlete that puts it on the field. Kingsbury is one that's got it up here. So they went their separate directions, and now look at them both doing great.
Yep. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury, he saw everything do you remember the movie A Beautiful Mind?
Yeah,
Where he saw everything. He could see
little
the
bit.
play. He can see plays.
I'm not that old.
Oh, come on now. Don't. You know what? All right, I'm gonna do what I do to Matt. I'm gonna throw a flag on you. Personal foul on you, sir. So look, Beautiful Mind. He sees things through every realm of possibility. Cliff Kingsbury can see the play develop in his mind, but then again, I want all 54 people that are watching right now, raise your hand if you can read minds of Cliff Kingsbury and go to utilize that play in actual gameplay. Because I guarantee you, 0 of y'all are going to be able to do that.
Cliff couldn't even do it.
Exactly. I mean, hit the nail on the head on that one. All right, so that here's where we're going on this one. All right, look, Atlanta, they're 6-4. Like I told you guys the other night, Atlanta, I think, is going to finish 12-5. Heck, even 11-6. They're going to do around their hands. They're going to win the NFC South. It's going to come down to who's better. It's going to be the Seahawks or the Falcons who get the 3-4. The 3-4, I think, is pretty much going to be the play-in for both of them. But here's a crazy stat to think about this too, Shane, is if the playoffs started right this second, do you realize that the third best team in the NFC has to go on the road and play at Atlanta?
Yes.
And that's wild to think. Like
that's my biggest thing of the NFL playoffs, which I see that we're fixing to go through the college football playoffs and
yep.
kind of the same thing. But just because you're you're a 12 and 4
12-5
team because the division leader is a 13-3.
Which is so weird to think. Like, isn't that weird?
Go on the road and you play a 9-7 division winner in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, that's just weird.
I mean, but it's been like that, so you really can't argue with the format. And I mean, we're going to see how it plays out in college football this year because that's kind of where it's going. But I think it's we've seen a lot of disparity between the top end teams and the lower end teams as far as the playoffs is considered here lately. I think that is shrinking a whole lot.
Yes.
So I think that we're in for better games, and I think it's going to make it more interesting if they keep it the same way. But, in the same sense, it's almost like the college football. It's almost like you want to expand it just a couple more teams, just see what might happen,
Just a little bit, right?
Just a little,
a
little taste.
Look, and you just hit the nail on the head on this one too. I think it was 90. I think it was like 98 or something like that. I can't remember. It was the Browns. They were like 12-4 and they missed the playoffs. It was some strange year.
Hey, the good Lord. Hey, I'm out here. Hey, he blessed me to play in the snow.
Yeah, really. So, all right, guys. So anyways, let's continue going on this one. Look, the 3 teams you really got to worry about, and I was thinking the Commanders or the Redskins, whatever they want to be called this week. I don't care. They had a chance, right? Dude, Shane, and I don't know if you heard this. Washington is in serious danger of actually missing the playoffs. They are this close. They only have to lose 1 or 2 games, and that's it. The road to get to the postseason for the Commanders, the door is shut with 1 or 2 more losses.
Look what conference we're talking about. We're talking about the NFC.
The NFC East. Yep.
No. Period. The NFC, anything can happen.
That's right.
You look at the Carolina Panthers last week against the Kansas City Chiefs. The third ever game Andy Reid has faced against offensive opponent in that game was 75% of their drives ended in scoring points. The third game of his whole career. So, Carolina.
Which wrap your head around that too, by the way.
I mean, yeah, that's with Bryce Young starting, and where we're hearing a lot of Bryce Young kind of comeback stories, like, hey, he's the one, he's doing great, and hey, they're giving him that opportunity. But you see how competitive it is for a team that we thought that would be tanking to get the first round pick if they didn't trade it away,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, it's weird.
We're looking at that team, but we're looking at that team. They're actually playing and competing with probably one of the most talented teams that we see in the NFL.
That's right.
So,
all right,
that's one of the great things that I see about this season. It's kind of even in college football, it's you don't have the top, you don't have the very bottom. It's kind of it's an even playing field once you get throughout the mediocre and kind of the middle pack of the season.
That's right. You get the meat part of the season, right?
Oh yeah.
So let's switch gears to college football, right? All right. So both teams play today that have I think the top two Heisman finalists, Travis Hunter and Ashton Jeanty. Boise State, they won 34-18 over Oregon State. But here he did good. He did good, yes. But here's where I think Jeanty's going to miss out on it. Obviously, Jeanty had Boise had a stronger schedule.
2 touchdowns away from the record. He's got right.
Yeah, but remember Boise though, they didn't play a strong schedule.
2 touchdowns away from the record. I think that might get them.
So do you think Jeanty gets it?
I don't know, but I don't think a quarterback should get it at all. That's what
I agree.
Because the way Travis did today with 3 touchdown receptions and a pick.
Yeah.
I mean, they were already up there. I think if Jeanty would have got he's got the yardage record, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does.
He's just two touchdowns shy of the touchdown record that Barry Sanders set. And if he would have had both of those, he's outright Heisman winner. But with what Travis Hunter has done, and to see him get snubbed on the Thorpe Award,
yes,
that's kind of my thing. Like, you got to give it to him in some sort of fashion because of what he has done. I mean, we're talking about the last two side of the ball kind of athlete, and he really doesn't do much on special teams, which Desmond Howard, the last one that won the Heisman, did, and with Turner at that. I mean, hell, he returned the kick for a touchdown in the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did.
So I mean, that's one of those things. Like, I mean, even Charles Woodson, two-sport, or two-side of the ball, offense and defense, he was still a returner on the kickoffs, if not punts. But I mean,
on the head right there.
You look at it the way what he's done and what he's put up, and what Jeanty's done. I mean, there's a hard argument. We've seen the quarterbacks just haven't separated themselves out and made one another, one particularly better than the other at this point in the season. So I think it's a race between them two, and I think that's what the voters are going to have to decide when it comes down to it.
Absolutely, and our good friend, our good friends, Abe Gordon said the same thing. He said it's a battle between Jeanty, Travis Hunter, and Dylan Gabriel. And Nick Shalini of 6A The Fan said the same thing. Good friend Jason Barfield at Sam Houston State said the exact same thing. Everybody is in agreement. I think today, Shane, I'm stamping it right now that Travis Hunter is going to win the Heisman. I'm saying it right now. And look, we have 54 people watch right now. I want you guys to chime in there and hit type of 1 for Travis Hunter or type of 2 for Ashton Jeanty. That's who we want. I want to know out of the 54 people watching. You let me know who do you think is going to win the Heisman? I'm putting mine in. Travis Hunter. It sounds like Shane's putting his vote in for Travis Hunter.
I
Travis
know.
Hunter is going.
I'm a Genty man.
You're a Genty? Okay.
I'm a Genty man because besides Derrick Henry and Adrian Peterson, in the last 25 years, well, I don't know. I might be going a little bit too far on 25 years, but you're looking at like the Ron Dane was probably one of the last ones. But I mean, how many times have you known anybody to get close to a rushing record? Period.
God, I'm trying to think.
Now we have Genty breaking Barry Sanders' record. What was it? It wasn't 89, was it?
Oh.
Uh,
I don't remember when. I'm not really gonna try and age myself a little too much. I can't remember. Like,
well, I was going
to have to look it up.
89 was a great year
because you were born that year. Look, guys, he look, and for those who don't know, Shane just told his age.
Oh yeah, I just told my age, but look at the hairline too, so it tells it.
Wait. Look at my hair. Like, you know what? Here, I'm throwing another flag on you, sir. Good grief. All right, so let's do this little thing that Matt. So obviously Matt, he is sick. We believe he has the flu. Which, if you have the flu, folks, it sucks. It's absolutely the nastiest thing ever. So today, as you know, Shane, there was a lot of good football that actually took place, and one game in particular is actually going on right now. Georgia Tech is playing in Athens at University of Georgia. So what Matt and I do at every Friday night, Shane, is we go over top games and we pick our winner, okay? And look, you just actually a little shout out here from our good friend Trey Davis. It's good to hear Shane again, but I'm going with Travis Hunter because he excels at both sides of the ball. Yes, he does.
I'm in agreement. I'm ready for him to be picked probably second, third, fourth overall in the top 5 at least, just because of what he can do on both sides of the ball. No matter where the pros want to put him at, he's still that caliber of talent.
So wait, who do you have as the number 1 pick then?
Shador.
Ooh.
Well, hey, what can come along with it unless Colorado locks down his daddy for another contract?
Well, and you just saw what Prime did. He locked down one of the number 1 quarterbacks. Of course, Tux took this, but but that is actually the running argument.
We've also seen a lot of decommitments from Colorado here lately.
Yes, you have. I was just about to say, but and here's also a lot of stories that are being shown. And Matt and I have touched on this. We've touched on it with a lot of our people here. With Shador being gone, he's not big on Shiloh, but if Shador and Travis Hunter are gone, and Prime really didn't have a next of kin, I guess you could say, playing. Prime has even come out and said his favorite son is Shador.
But it's not about that. It's about like what he said, and which I believe in what he says is that he wants to be a teacher of young men, and he wants to shape the future generations of athletes and all that come about. And like he said, he doesn't know if he could do it as a professional ball coach because he wants to shape these people as young men, and if they don't come from that, I can see him being, extremely versatile and hostile towards these type of players that come from an atmosphere of no respect, I guess, for the lack of better term, right there. So, but that's what I see would keep him into the college ranks. But if say the Cowboys get that top 5 pick, I could see serious money getting thrown out there, and what he could do, what Deion could do to shape a team like he has done at Colorado in the 2-3 years that he's been there. What he do with the unlimited bankroll within the cap space in the NFL.
Absolutely. I can see Prime going to I can see him maybe going to Dallas. You know, I think Mike McCarthy's done. I really think no matter what happens, McCarthy, I think, is done. He's playing his final season.
Yeah.
Dallas, heck, he may even play his final game. If he loses his next game, I think he's done. I really do.
I don't know. They're playing good right now.
Yes.
Right.
But there is that possibility, you know. Mike McCarthy, he does not have an edge.
They were on the edge of just being like totally done tanking the season. How much of that is that? And then, you know, turning it around, and then how much of it is everybody's still got contracts, so they got to try to make next year.
That's right. And look, you know, our good friend Shane Anderson of the Alabama Beavers IFA team and our International Football Alliance professional football team. I asked him the other night, I said, who does he want the Raiders to draft? You know what he said? He wants Shador or Cam Ward. And if he can't have either one of them, he doesn't want anybody. That's a pretty significant, you know, notion there. And look, right as of right now, the Raiders, they do have the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, the Raiders need a quarterback. I'm not sure if Shador is their quarterback, though. I think that what we've gotten away from with the talent level that we've seen come out the college ranks. I mean, you see it with Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Jaguars. I mean, he's done. He did good enough to get a contract with the Jaguars and excel, and then he's still been mediocre, if not unhealthy at this point.
I'm glad you mentioned it. You do realize also that Trevor Lawrence hasn't made the decision yet if he wants season-ending surgery or if he's going to try and make that comeback. It's still a coin toss as to what he needs to do.
Exactly, which I mean, and that's part of the reason, you know, the contract weighs on you because you got to play so many games. You've got to, you know, have this certain statistical, you know, mark and all that in your stats for the year. You know, so that is one thing, you know, that he's doing to try to secure money. You know, he's got to realistically look at it and sit back and say, hey, if I go out at 50% and still take 50 snaps, I get an extra 1.5 mil.
Yeah.
I mean,
contracts, they do weigh a lot on players, and especially quarterbacks. You know, he is the face right now. I mean, out of everybody else, if you had to take away Trevor Lawrence, all you have is Travis Etienne. You have no real solid talent right now in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean their defense has carried them through the transition years, kind of.
Yep.
Here what we're looking at, which I mean, and you know, you paid Trevor to be your franchise quarterback and stuff like that, but you know, you weren't able to shore up, and I'm a big believer in you got to shore up the front 7 on either side of the ball. You know, tight ends, running backs, offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, and your safeties. Like you short,
in that order, though, right?
You shore the middle of the defense and the offense up, then you can make a play no matter what we see. I mean, you look like we see the AFC North. You're talking about it. You know, there are great teams there, but they play smash mouth football. They play hard, you know, front 7 versus front 7, and they'll take the game over either way. And
right.
Sitting there at what the top 3 teams are in the playoffs already.
Mm-hmm. You hit the nail on the head. So let's do this. All right, let's go. Let's look at some of the big. I will tell you the games that I'm going to pick on here for college football, and you give me your score prediction, and then I'll give my score prediction. Sound good?
Hey, I'm good.
All right. So as you know, talking about watching game right now, Georgia Tech. They're playing Georgia. Georgia Tech seems to be having the number on Georgia right now. I don't know why. Georgia looks all sorts out of whack, right? Carson Beck used to be the talk of possibility of going, you know, getting the Heisman. Now it's no. He just looks like a duck out of water. Matt, he's a Georgia Tech fan. I'm actually going to tip my cap to Georgia Tech here. I think Georgia Tech wins, like 28-24. What do you think?
No.
No. What do you think the score will be?
I think Georgia wins 34-17.
I like it. Very good. All right. So, Nate, we had a lot of good games today. There's a very big rival game that, you can kind of throw records out of the equation when these two teams face each other. Good friend Vince, who is a Michigan guy. They're playing in Columbus, Michigan and Ohio State. And, Michigan, they've had a really abysmal season. Yeah, they're 6-5. I think Ohio State, though, wins like 48-14. What do you think?
No. Please repeat Michigan. Please.
Michigan's they've had an abysmal season.
Please. I know, but this win would mean everything to them.
Oh, absolutely it would. That's like the Army Navy, both teams being 0-11, they come and they win. That's the season.
So please do it. Please. Nobody likes Ohio State fans. I mean,
no, I don't either.
If anybody's an Ohio State fan, I'm sorry.
All right, so you're picking Michigan to win them, right?
Well, I'm hoping Michigan wins, but I'm picking Ohio State to win the game.
Yeah. All right, so now let's look at this one, all right? It's the battle between Knoxville and Nashville. Tennessee, they're traveling and they're finishing their season up against the regular season up against Vanderbilt. Look, I've said this, and it's a true statement. Odd years, like they're absolutely the worst. But even years, and this is an even year, 2024, they're 6-5. They knocked off Alabama. I mean, come on, the number one team. They had up until this year, they were like 0-11 lifetime against the number one team, and they won. And they're playing Tennessee. Look, Tennessee, Lamalavia, he's a great quarterback. He absolutely is a great quarterback. He's going to have a great career. But Sampson is too much to handle. I think Tennessee actually wins. However, I think Vanderbilt makes it interesting. I say 34-31 Tennessee. What do you think?
Well, hey, I am I'm ready to see if Vandy upsets them, because if they do, it's going to be chaos.
Oh gosh, yes. Could you imagine two major upsets in a single year?
I mean, you look at it. I guarantee you could pick out any one of the four: Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina. Any one of those four, the last ones that they have are wins and stuff like that. Are they not deserving to get into the playoff over the second-ranked Big 12 team?
You hit the nail on the head, actually, because
I mean,
technically, you get three good Big 10 teams, right?
Well, a Big 10 team like we're putting Penn State up there at 4. They lost to Ohio State, and what else?
They got demolished.
What else have they won? And then again, you're looking at it like, okay, well, you're giving Notre Dame props for playing Northern Illinois in the beginning of the season and losing to the seventh best team in the MAC.
Yeah,
the MAC. We're not even talking about a team that a conference champion that would be considered for the playoff period. The seventh best.
You know what I think?
One of them that is going to go to the playoff, in their opinion.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it right here, okay? I'm going to give Notre Dame their participation trophy right here. Congratulations, Notre Dame. You have participated in the possibility of no. That's all. I'm giving it to them. All right. So you're right.
They ought to play Alabama, and we'll see a 35-3 game again.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll have his girlfriend in the stands.
All right. So look, I've said this all year, and it's very true. But I'm starting to really. I'm buying it because they're starting to finally be more consistent. South Carolina is the most consistently inconsistent team. You got to I've said every week, if they come out guns blazing, playing hard-nosed football the way they've been doing, they absolutely control their own destiny. This is a big game. They're playing at Clemson. both teams are theoretically still in it.
Yeah.
South Carolina is more so than Clemson. Clemson has to win. They have to have SMU lose, and then they have to win the ACC championship.
Right, SMU Syracuse, or
Yeah, they have to have Syracuse win to be and Clemson has to win, and Syracuse needs to win. Clemson gets into the ACC championship.
And Clemson doesn't have to win. All they have to do is have Syracuse win.
They have to have opportunities.
It's not an ACC game. They've already settled their spot in the ACC championship. If they lose to Syracuse, then Clemson's in no matter what, win or lose. You could have
South Carolina has a better chance though than Clemson getting into the 12.
Us Clemson team win the ACC championship.
That's true.
Think about that. Think about that real quick.
It's a strange situation. I'm going to tell you this though, and look, I'm not picking on any South Carolina fans. If y'all come out flat, it's back to that which team is going to show up. If you come out flat, the first 4 drives, if you really come out flat, and Clemson comes out the first 4 drives, and they are hotter than a pancake on a hot griddle kind of thing, you gotta worry. But if South Carolina comes out and they play the 3 facets at A+ level, offense, defense, and special teams, South Carolina's gonna win.
You got to take home field advantage out of the way at a rivalry game, especially when you're playing away.
That's true.
And if they do that, then they've got a chance.
Like I said though, if South Carolina comes out cold, it's Clemson's game. But if South Carolina comes and plays, the way they've played in the last 4 weeks, South Carolina has a legit chance. And I can tell you, the feeling around here, in Clemson and Easley, Powdersville, Simpsonville, people who are Clemson fans, they're kind of a little nervous, and rightfully so. You have every right to be nervous. You guys, Clemson, they came out flat against Georgia, which Matt has said this too, and I'm inclined to agree. Had Georgia been scheduled for the last game of the season or towards the end of the season against Clemson, Clemson could have really been like a top 2 team. But you came out flat against them. You really struggled, and then you go on this hot tear. You win like crazy games. You go to Louisville, and you play the way you played against Georgia. You didn't play to win the game. You just played because, hey, we're here. And now you've really hurt your odds at getting into the 12. Now you're still technically in it, but like I've said, South Carolina has a better position. I think they're like a 22% chance if they win out, they're in, right? Clemson has like an 18% something like that. So Clemson doesn't have exactly a better chances. But if South Carolina comes out and they handle their business and they can really dominate against Phil Maffa, really hone in on Cade Klubnik and make him frustrated, oh yeah, South Carolina could actually win this out. But with that being said, though, I'm going to say, it's going to be a close game. I think Clemson pulls it out 28-24. What do you think?
I'm not sure. It could go either way. I'm thinking that it's going to be a like 42-38 game.
Oh, so shootout. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Possibly even maybe like a 48-49 game.
That would be a good entertaining game to watch too.
Come overtime or something like that. Maybe a 2-point conversion doesn't make it in overtime. But I think that it's going to be a close game. If it's not a close game, whoever wins, even be it Clemson, not even participating in the ACC championship, either team that wins, if they win big, then they have an argument to be that 11-12 seed in the playoff.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. All right, so let's look at another game here. This team, they have played knockout for several teams in the last few weeks. I'm talking about Kansas and Baylor. Kansas, they came out and they absolutely walloped Colorado. outplayed them. I think Kansas gains bowl eligibility with this win. Look, Baylor, for everybody knows, you've heard me talk weekly. I have been like working my darndest to get somebody from Baylor. They're the most like hush school ever. I've been trying to get someone from Baylor to come on, and thankfully I have somebody who is now on our corner trying to help persuade someone from Waco to come on. But I think Kansas wins. They become bowl eligible. What do you think?
Kansas put too much effort in the last week. I think it comes out and kind of puts her foot into it, and kind of what I'm seeing. Kansas put everything in the beat and taking away Colorado and Coach Prime's chance at a championship game. You know what I mean? I mean, they won today, big time. Which that might be another conversation, but possibly Gundy's last game as coach.
I've heard that too.
My buddy Huckabee told me about that, so I was thinking the same thing. I mean, they 2-8 this year,
3-9.
3-9 now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. They hadn't been in a conversation here lately for any good bowl games. So, Gundy is as luxurious as that mullet is. I don't know how well it's going to last for him there.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's been interesting, and we're Georgia's trying to come back. Now,
yeah.
So trying to get into the game a little bit. Georgia Tech, they're putting it on them.
They are.
So this could be the one real big wrinkle in the playoff that we're looking at.
Absolutely.
Right.
So you're pulling. You're picking Baylor to win.
Yeah, I'm picking Baylor to win. I think the win. I don't know about covering the spread, but I think they'll win.
All right, I got one for you. Crazy game. And, this has been like the most unusual season for military schools. How about this? 9-1 Army. If they win tomorrow against Texas San Antonio, they have a legit chance. They're going to go into the annual Army-Navy game as a 10-1 team with the potential to go 11-1 and even be a member of the 12. How crazy is that?
I mean, it's pretty crazy, but I had a cousin that was a graduate of the Naval Academy, so let's go Navy, beat Army.
That's gonna be a fun game, guys.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. I mean, if only it would have worked out, perfectly for them to go into this matchup undefeated. A piece, it would have been chaos.
Oh my God, that would have been crazy. Could you imagine 11-0 Army versus 11-0 Navy?
That's what we got going on right now in the SEC with chaos, but that kind of chaos. With them being undefeated and them playing each other after the selection was to happen, that was going to be the big chaos about it. There's a lot of games this weekend that are going to be decisive of kind of future plans of what goes on in the playoff committee's eyes and everything else like that. So I'm very interested to see, what happens, because from what I see tonight, all day, it's going to be extremely interesting.
So I actually was wrong. It's Miami is traveling to Syracuse. SMU is playing host to Cal. Yeah. All right, and if Syracuse beats Miami, Clemson's in the ACC championship.
Yeah,
that's literally out there.
Yeah, and no matter.
I'm going to ask you this: do you think Miami loses, or do you think Syracuse wins? Excuse me, Miami wins or Syracuse? Who do you got, Miami or Syracuse?
Syracuse is a sneaky team, especially when you play them at home in the Carrier Dome.
Yep.
You know, they're good. I came as a Virginia Tech fan. I knew them when they were in the Big East with Donovan McNabb. The Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb era was what I kind of grew up in down there. So, it was fun to watch, fun to see. And hey, Carrier Dome, it's a Terrier Dome for a reason.
It rips people's heart out. All right, so let's go down. Our good friends at Sam Houston State, which I got a little story to tell you in a second about them. But they did their part. They won today, 20-18. They now have to rely on Western Kentucky to beat Jacksonville State to go to the Conference USA Championship game. Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers are a surprising team. Tyler Huff is the quarterback at Jacksonville State, which everybody should know. Tyler Huff played at Furman. With that being said, I think Western Kentucky pulls it off. What do you think?
Western Kentucky, first team ever to debut the Chrome helmets. I think I said this before on here. So the Hilltoppers, man, their mascot is just a big red blob. But
that's so weird too.
But I think it's going to be a good game. You never can count them out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So do you think Western Kentucky can pull the upset over Jacksonville State, or do you think Jacksonville State is too much to handle?
I don't know. I don't know. This weekend, I'm kind of leaning any Gamecock. I might be picking them.
Absolutely. Now look, this is like this last week was like they called it the number 2 bowl. The Deuce Bowl. It was Florida State versus Charleston Southern. Florida State got their Deuce win, number 2 win. For whatever reason, Florida State got the nod for a primetime night game against Florida. I think Florida State finishes 2-10. I think Florida mollywops, as Matt would say, absolutely eats the Seminoles up. I'm saying, like, I would even say 48-10. What do you think?
I'm not sure. Florida is one of the best playing teams there right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're a mediocre record, but they
6-5.
They're playing great right now.
It'll be a fun game. So, who do you think? Do you think? What do you think the score will be, and who do you think wins, Florida or Florida State?
I think Florida wins the ball game. What's the spread on the game?
Let me see. It's not very big. It's like, I think Florida's like 16.5 point favorites.
Oh, shit. That's big for a game like this. So, is it at Swamp or in Tallahassee?
No, it's at Tallahassee.
In Tallahassee? I'd probably take Florida State with the points at 16.5. I think Florida State's got a lot to prove. And I think Florida will be riding that high from the Ole Miss game. So going on the road, although it be it a state rivalry, I think that Florida State can keep it within that, 17 points at least.
Okay. I like it. All right. We got, this one basically determines who's going to go into the SEC championship game against, I think, is UGA. Texas and Texas A&M. Who you got?
Texas. I mean,
all right.
I'm going to take Texas outright on it. Although be, betting the minor outcome, but that's a safe bet on this one. Give me Texas. A&M.
Keep in mind, Quinn Ewers is not playing. It's Arch Manning, I believe, is starting.
And when
I don't know.
when he's been in, has he put up Heisman numbers?
No.
Compare snap by snap to everyone else that's out there for the Heisman race as a quarterback?
No, he has not. I'm not impressed with what Quinn Ewers has done.
He has. Yes, he has. Snap for snap, Arch Manning has.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Quinn Ewers.
No. I'm talking about Arch Manning.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have the amount of snaps to be eligible for it, but he is the truth. I mean, nobody wanted to doubt it, just because of his last name and stuff like that, and the hype around him in high school. I mean, it took him a little while to be benched to sit back and actually to prove that he is him. He makes all the throws. He can do it.
Makes their accurate reads too, by the way.
I mean, he can do it all.
All right, so let's look at I want to go down to your team, right? What do you guys call it? The Virginia Tech rival. What do y'all call that?
It's a battle for the Commonwealth Cup.
All right, that's a big game.
Oh yeah, it's a big game.
Put records aside. Both teams are 5-6.
Bowl eligibility.
Yep, it's the Bowl. All right, so who? What do you think the final score will be?
Oh shoot, I don't know. I can't say that many 4 and 5 letter words on here without being funny.
Oh, by the way, I gotta let you know before I get your pick on the one. If you guys are looking for tickets to the Texas A&M game, make sure you fork out $1,610 because that's the cheapest ticket that's available, folks. $1,600 for a college football game. Yeah, no. Would you pay that much?
No, I wouldn't, but no, I would go if it was gifted.
Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely, I would too. Who are you kidding? If someone gave me a $1,600 ticket, you best darn believe I'm. Give me the seat right now. So, you're predicting Virginia Tech to win, right?
Give me the ticket. I'll make my way out there.
I'll walk. I'll start walking right now. All right, so you're picking Virginia Tech to win, correct?
Oh, of course. I mean, I mean, we can't even stop a cold in the middle of winter, but but I think that Virginia, with their quarterback run and the way that they have it, it's so sporadic. I believe that we'll be able to hone it in and be able to go bowl eligibility, and take our lumps this season. Considering the record, I mean, I don't think that we've lost a game outside of overtime or one possession all year. So
exactly, take it where you can, right?
Yeah, well, and I mean, it was supposed to be the bounce back year. We had a bunch of people coming back, but we still got a bunch of people coming back next year too. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully we get a W, and that Clemson Carolina game is going to be a good one. I think back and forth, So what's your thoughts on the final on that one?
Cade Klubnik's going to be the deciding factor. His play is going to be it.
But I see with Stewart and Kennard, if they can contain them, I mean, that neutralizes that fact. So
he single-handedly saved Clemson's season, though, against Pitt with that 50-yard run.
I'm looking. Williams is going to be Clemson's biggest offensive contributor.
I like it. And it's a big if Cade can perform the way he has been taught he needed to do all year and has shown glimpses that he could, I think Clemson can pull it out. I really do, but not by much because South Carolina is no pushover team. They're not.
Oh, well,
There's a reason that
I
they
think
hang with the big boys.
between the two quarterbacks, whichever one makes the least amount of mistakes wins the ball game for their program.
I was just because South Carolina's not a pushover team.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Absolutely not.
Well, Lenore's
If Lenore's comes out like, "Hey, I'm here and I'm ready and I'm the future,"
quarterback has 2 turnovers, either be it a fumble, an interception, or whatever. I think whichever one has 2 turnovers first will be on the losing side of the ball game.
I'm actually going to agree with you on that one. You know, then the first thing is who makes the first mistake?
Yep.
Whoever makes the first will start to show signs that means that the other team is going to benefit.
And if South
It really
Carolina
comes down to it.
first mistake in the first half, the way Clemson is, I think if they can come out, if South Carolina can get the ball in the second half and come out and push it down the throat, I'm not sure if Clemson can respond because I hadn't seen it all year. You know,
And that absolutely, you really haven't. That when it's come in big games, Clemson, it's like there's that stupid term that comes around. Clemson is Clemsoning, and there's a real possibility they could do that.
You hadn't heard it in years since about
That's
2000.
right.
Since Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence,
Mm-hmm.
and since all them, you really hadn't heard the Clemsoning kind of deal. So I mean, it's just a matter of time before somebody just comes up and just lays an egg.
That's right. You're absolutely right. All right, so there you guys have it. I want to quickly touch on this story. It's really sad to hear out of Alabama. Alabama A&M linebacker Medrick Burnett Jr. Got hurt in a game in October, and he unfortunately has succumbed to his injuries. He passed away officially Wednesday evening. Our thoughts actually absolutely go out to the family. He is from Lakewood, California. He joined over the summer after starting at Grambling State, a historically black college as well. Obviously it's a very sad situation to hear that, Shane, when you hear football and death, it's kind of like a strange hearing, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, and this was an interesting story because we heard it over the past couple of days. Well, he did pass. Well, he didn't pass. Well, he is in critical condition. Blah blah blah. We kind of heard it back and forth. Kind of on the legal side of it. And it was first broke by ESPN and then broke again on my phone as I was traveling. Home for the holidays and to enjoy Thanksgiving with family and all. But I think the way that it was handled was classless and could have been done better. But I do appreciate the Department of Alabama A&M getting the correct information out there as quickly as possible, so that way they could actually have everybody's best interest in mind with the situation that was going on. And we hate to see it. And, it's almost you say that this is the risk that everybody takes.
Mm-hmm.
To play the game and all, and it makes a lot of sense until something like this happens, and it's put into perspective on what the ultimate outcome could be. As prayers go out for the family and everybody involved in that, and hopefully with the advancement in science and everything that we've seen lately with even the NFL players wearing the helmet and the pads, actually on the field, Hopefully that helps a lot. And what we see with all these horrific brain injuries and traumas that we have in college and the pros alike.
Absolutely. It's a heartbreaking situation. Our thoughts and prayers do go out to the family. Hey, real quick, want to touch up on something, guys. Georgia Tech is about to go up 17-0 at the half against Georgia. Oof, that would be an upset. Look at that. Georgia Tech, 303 total yards to Georgia's 97. And we still have 44 seconds left in the first half. This is crazy. All right, we're going to do a live right now. Georgia Tech snaps the ball. And Haynes does it. Oh, he was going to do a jump pass. And it was a jump pass. All right. All right, so guys, real quick, I got to share. We broke this news last episode on Wednesday. We're going to go here and share the good news again, folks. Here's the news. If you, Shane, let me see if you see what I'm sharing right now, correct?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see it.
All right, guys. The South Carolina Ravens arena football team, you see the name right there, folks. The Sportz Nutz are the official podcast of the South Carolina Ravens arena football team. That means, folks, we have the exclusivity of the pregame, during the game, post-game, and in between. And we have access to the locker rooms. We are the face of the South Carolina Ravens. Yes, we will be sharing a booth with the ESPN and Charleston. We will be sharing booth with them, yes, which is really exciting. We will be streaming the game live as well. So please make sure you guys visit them. Get your season ticket. Their season tickets are going hot. NCRavensFB.com. Take it right now. They are looking for your calls. Let's get it going. All right, guys. This has been a good episode. Mr. Trey Davis just said, Chris Nowinski, who has studied brain injuries in sports, has publicly questioned why college football hasn't changed their kickoff rules like the NFL did. I'm going to ask you that real quick, Shane. What do you think of the NFL kickoff rules? Obviously they adapted it from their little brother, the United Football League. What do you think?
I think it's great. I mean, if you look at it, we're looking at a percentage rate of returns that are greater in the past any year in the past 10 years period. So I mean, you're looking at it. It's safer. It creates more excitement. The only difference and the only, kind of hardship it brings about it is, hey, you've got to declare for an onside kick. But
I don't like that. I want to be the surprise of the onside.
I mean, that just kind of takes away the surprise, kind of, the middle of the field onside kick for the kicker, because if you line up for any other onside kick, then a lot of teams are going to line up and prepare for it. So, I mean, that's the only one downside of it that I see. But, I think that the NFL, they've come a long way, especially in, you see the targeting calls in college. Mm-hmm. Like they're calling unsportsmanlike conduct, unnecessary roughness penalties in the NFL now, on some of those same hits. And with the position that both college and NFL are in right now, with the money making business that it is, you got to protect yourself. So I mean, you're going to look at the insurance premiums are going to go up if you play these sports, but then again, the money that you get paid to do these things is going to go up as well. So, but I think that there's a good median and there's some great rules around it, and I'm interested to see on how everything can go further without jeopardizing the play of the game.
Absolutely. Hey guys, real quick, want to let you know Georgia Tech is up 17-0. Georgia is trying to do a little finesse in the half. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't
So
know. It's looking decent.
it looks like it's a good game. If Georgia does lose, I would go ahead and put a stamp on it and say, Georgia, you're not going to be part of the 12. I'm going ahead and saying that.
But if Georgia loses, South Carolina beats Clemson big, or Clemson beats South Carolina big, Clemson or South Carolina will be in the 12.
All right, you heard that first from Shane. All right, guys, really quick, want to let you guys know about the coming week's episode. Look, next Tuesday, we will have the South Carolina Ravens on, actually. They're going to give us an update on the final tryout as well as going to the Senior Bowl. They will be having a good conversation with us on that one. We are very close to getting Bob Ritchie, the Furman men's basketball coach, on. We're getting there. Guys, got a little other exciting news to share with you. We are happy to announce. I'm so excited about announcing this one. Our good friend Brian Kajiyama is going to come on the show again. He's going to be a regular guest. Cannot wait to have him. Look, guys, if you have heard me start the show with the episode on our platform, it reached almost 1,000 views. With him sharing it again, between both, we are officially at 3,000 views for that episode. Hey, Brian is a great individual, great learner to talk to. I mean, Shane, I hope you get a chance to be on that episode when he comes on, because he really is a phenomenal individual. He's the most inspirational individual. He has cerebral palsy, so he can't walk. He can't talk. He talks through computer-generated voice.
Oh, yeah.
And he did phenomenal.
Everything lines up.
He did great things for us. Guys, I do want to quickly let you know, I do have the final numbers of episode 54, or excuse me, 56 with 55 with Craig Angeles, the athletic director for the University of Hawaii, which unfortunately on Sunday will be his final day at the University of Hawaii. They are playing at the Florence Civic Center. Correct. That is correct, Trey. That's where the Ravens are. All right, so Shane, are you ready to hear these numbers?
Go ahead, boss.
All right, so on our platforms, which is, as you know, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, it's 13,184. However, this is the cool thing that you're going to hear. 2 TV stations in Southern California picked up, 3 radio stations in Southern California picked it up as well. The Big Ten Network covered it up. Big Ten Sports also covered it. It was broadcast in the state of Washington, in Seattle, more specifically, and 2 TV stations and 2 radio stations up there. My sisters let me know about it as well. It was covered in Wyoming, Colorado, Alabama, also covered in Texas, and officially aired a week ago in Boston, Massachusetts. Between everything, all platforms, it is 7,395,102 views, listens combined. That is an all-time record for the Sportz Nutz. And Shane, we did it with you, brother.
Oh man, I'm glad to be a part of it, man. You know me, I've been through some hard times, and just kind of getting everything situated out where I'm kind of comfortable and situated where we're at. So glad to be back on, glad to be a part of that, and
yes.
Hey, the Sportz Nutz. Hey, we are always trying to break news and always trying to be the lead sports reporters when it comes down to it.
That's right. And I do want to let you guys know also, there was a lot of talk that the Nike deal was going to fall through because Craig Angeles was fired. Well, guess what, folks? Have
confirmed.
100% confirmed. Nike and Hawaii have signed, sealed, and delivered. The first set of Nike merchandise will be delivered next week, guys. So be prepared for that. So, yes, University of Hawaii and Nike, they are together. Thank goodness for that. Guys, we have had so much fun with you guys tonight. I cannot tell you how much we've enjoyed it. Look, guys, we topped out at 87 views tonight, guys. We love you so, so much. Thank you so much for letting us bend your ear for an hour and 40 minutes. It's really been fun. Obviously, we can talk all night, but we're not going to do it because, look, Shane's he's the family. He is up in North Carolina right now. We'll do it. I gotta quickly mention, guys, there will be a snow game this Sunday night. The 49ers and Bills are playing. So make sure you got.
Please.
Yes, they said upwards of up close to 30 inches of snow.
Yep.
Guys,
3 feet.
I had fun.
3.
Love it. So, guys, for our as we always say, peace up. A-Town down. Why? It's because it's the greatest sports city there ever was. Yes, and I'm biased because I'm from Atlanta. But as our good friend Matt would say, don't get flagged. And why does he say that? Look, guys, it's as you see the trees behind me. It's holiday time. Don't do something stupid. Don't go drinking and driving. If you get drunk or if you feel like you're going to drink, call an Uber. They'll help you get you home. Be home safe. We're not bailing you out of jail. Plain and simple. We're not bailing you out of jail on that one. So, guys, as we always say, we love you guys. Remember, Tuesday, 7:30, South Carolina Ravens will be on. And Shane, what do you tell these lovely people?
Hey, peace, love, and bacon grease.
Peace, love, and bacon grease, indeed. Guys, it is supposed to be cold this weekend. Some parts of North Carolina will be getting the S word.
It already is up here about 30 degrees.
Yes, it is. It is frigid outside here, guys. If you are in the Boone, North Carolina area, send some pictures of the snow. You guys are supposed to get like 2 inches of snow. Come on now, send it our way. But hey, I want to give a shout out to all of our friends in Dubai who are watching. I know you guys are here. I know where you guys log in. Also, to the 15 people who are currently watching in Iceland, give me a message. We would love to learn more about you. And how did you guys come about watching our show? I know Matt has a friend located there. Did you learn from her? I mean, let me know, please. Also, want to quickly give a shout out again to Jason. Jonathan McCullum, please send us a message. You did win the $30 gas gift card. With that being said, guys, go have fun. You ain't got to go home, guys. You got to get the heck up out of here. It's Friday night. Great. Have a great weekend. And we will talk to you on Tuesday. Until then, take care and good night. See ya. Well, he just did. He just scored 8 points. That's big. He had a career. Yep.